Greetings to all lovers of mystery and intrigue. Why do major world events seem to coincide so strangely? It's as if someone behind the scenes is invisibly pulling the strings, steering the world in a direction that suits them. Politicians make inexplicable decisions, economies collapse, wars erupt, yet there's always the sense that none of it is random. At first, all of this was just a product of imagination, people trying to find logic in chaos. But soon, strange facts began to emerge. Like scattered puzzle pieces, they started to form a disturbing picture. One of the first warning signs was the mysterious symbols that seemed to follow the global elite, the all-seeing eye, pyramids, cryptic handshakes. They were everywhere, on banknotes, in architecture, on crests, and symbols of secret organizations. Who are they? Who are the people leaving behind this trail of secrets? Freemasonry traces its roots back to the medieval guilds of stonemasons, craftsmen who built magnificent structures like cathedrals and castles. These guilds practiced symbols and rituals used to pass knowledge from master to apprentice. The mystique of the craft, its complexity, and the symbolic significance of the buildings, especially religious ones, gave rise to certain rituals and philosophies. By the 17th and 18th centuries, as stonemasonry lost its former importance, Masonic guilds began to transform, shifting their focus from practical craft to enlightenment, humanism, and spiritual development. The first official Masonic lodge is considered to be the Grand Lodge of England, founded in 1717 in London, when 4 London lodges decided to unite into one brotherhood. This event marked the official beginning of modern Freemasonry. The more Freemasonry grew, the more it attracted people seeking power and influence. Soon, the lodges became not only places for spiritual growth, but also arenas for political and social intrigue. Later, in Bavaria in 1776, one of the most mysterious secret societies emerged, the Order of the Illuminati. They were intelligent, secretive, and had one goal: to seize control of the world. Their founder, Adam Weishaupt, was disillusioned with the power of monarchies and the church, believing that true enlightenment should be in the hands of the chosen few. The Illuminati chose the path of manipulation from the shadows. Although the order was officially banned by the end of the 18th century, some claimed that the Illuminati continued their activities in secret. They supposedly merged with Masonic structures, using the lodges for their own purposes. They infiltrated political, religious, and scientific circles, recruiting key people and spreading their ideas. Critics may claim that the Illuminati have long disappeared and their influence is just a myth. But what if it's all a lie? This order wasn't just a secret society, it was a carefully constructed network that gradually ensnared the world. Their meetings took place behind closed doors, where decisions weren't made for the good of humanity, but to maintain power. Sometimes events occur in the world that make ordinary people tremble in fear of the unknown. When something happens that defies logical explanation, when people realize they have no power to influence or get answers, a quiet panic spreads. One such event was the assassination of John F. Kennedy. There is speculation that U.S. President John F. Kennedy was killed for attempting to expose the truth about the existence of shadowy elites controlling the world. It's possible his assassination was organized by those who saw him as a threat to their influence. However, to this day, it remains unknown who was truly behind the attack on Kennedy. There is also speculation that the Freemasons control global economies, intentionally creating financial crises to strengthen their power. Events like the Great Depression and the 2008 financial crisis are linked to manipulation by shadowy elites. Supporters of these ideas believe that world banks and international financial organizations, such as the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, are tools of the Illuminati for controlling countries and their resources. And this might seem like nonsense if it weren't for the obvious helplessness of people. Since the Freemasons cannot act openly, they have to operate through intermediaries. It is highly likely that manipulation happens through famous, influential, and wealthy people. After all, those who have money and public recognition command trust. Cultural and social leaders can easily become key figures in advancing the New World Order. Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates didn't escape the spotlight either. His active involvement in technology, vaccination, and healthcare has sparked rumors that he's part of global plans to control the population. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg has also become the subject of conspiracy theories. People suspect him of collecting data and manipulating public opinion through his control of one of the world's largest social networks. Tesla founder Elon Musk's ambitious plans for Mars colonization and advancing artificial intelligence have also made him a target for conspiracy theorists. Some believe preparations are underway for humanity's relocation to other planets. There are also questions surrounding two other celebrities, Beyoncé and Jay-Z. These pop culture icons often use various symbols in their music videos and on stage, symbols that are associated with members of global dominance. The eye enclosed in a triangle, emitting light, is traditionally linked to the all-seeing eye, which watches over humanity. The pyramid, often depicted with a truncated top or an all-seeing eye at its peak, symbolizes the structure of society, with the chosen ones at the top controlling the masses. One of the most well-known examples of where these symbols can be seen is on the US dollar bill. Freemasonry's primary symbol is the compass and square, representing rationality, order, and wisdom. The two tools intersect at an angle, often with the letter G in the center, referencing the word God. Another symbol, the mythical phoenix, rising from the ashes, represents rebirth, renewal, and the cyclical nature of power. It's believed that the elite may use this symbol to signify their idea of continually renewing society through crises. The snake biting its own tail, Ouroboros, is an ancient symbol of eternity, the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. In the context of secret societies, it represents their continuous existence, regardless of time or political events. There are other, less obvious, distinguishing signs that align more closely with certain religious movements and ideologies. The existence of secret societies like the Freemasons leaves little doubt that there are also designated places for their gatherings. Beyond the Grand Lodge of London, there are a few other notable locations shrouded in mystery. In the U.S., Freemasonry was heavily represented among the Founding Fathers, including George Washington and Benjamin Franklin. Legends claim that both the Capitol building and the White House serve purposes beyond being government institutions. The Rockefellers, one of the world's most powerful and wealthy families, are believed to be involved in exerting global influence over business and politics. Their namesake center could serve as a symbolic headquarters. Bohemian Grove in California is another place where the U.S. elite gathers annually for private meetings. Only the most influential figures, from politicians to businessmen, are allowed into the Grove, and many believe that these meetings include occult rituals. The secrecy surrounding these locations only fuels further suspicion. Naturally, those concerned with these matters have pressing questions. What's the end goal? What does establishing a new world order ultimately give the Freemasons, where power is concentrated in the hands of a small elite? The answer is as follows. The Freemasons aim to establish a global ideology that will replace existing religions, cultures, and political systems. This ideology would focus on creating a compliant and uniform society, stripped of individuality and resistance. Such a society would become more predictable and easier to control. One of the darkest aspects of this theory is the claim that secret societies are working toward reducing the world's population to a more manageable level. Governing fewer people simplifies the control of society and reduces competition for limited natural resources. This allows the elite to maintain a higher standard of living for themselves at the expense of the rest. Why would a few individuals seek total control over others if their lives are finite? This is truly a complex and philosophical question. The elites striving for control are not just concerned with their personal power and influence, they are focused on creating a legacy that will outlive them. It's not just about personal dominance, it's about establishing a system that continues their influence long after they're gone. In this way, they achieve a form of immortality through their legacy. Dominating a society that they see as less developed or unworthy of freedom brings a deep sense of moral satisfaction and is seen as the pinnacle of human ambition. This idea is rooted in elitist ideology, where certain groups believe they possess unique knowledge, wisdom, or even a genetic predisposition to rule the world. Some theories suggest that the Masonic Mafia is interested in deep knowledge that the rest of humanity lacks. In this sense, power isn't just about controlling society but also about gaining access to knowledge that opens new horizons, including the possibility of extending life or even achieving immortality. It's possible that everything happening is part of fulfilling some divine mission. The drive for total control and manipulation could point to psychological disorders like megalomania, a sense of personal grandeur and significance, or narcissism. Such disorders can distort reality and inflate ambitions. People obsessed with world domination may perceive the world as a place of constant threat, affecting their behavior and decisions. As the Masons' influence on political and economic processes became increasingly evident, the public did not remain silent. The Masons often walked a fine line, risking exposure. In the early 18th century in Britain, a scandal erupted involving the Plato Lodge. During this period, Freemasonry became popular. The scandal ignited when some Masons accused the lodge of attempting to manipulate politics and society for its own interests. These accusations sparked public debate and suspicions about the Masonic Lodge's influence on state affairs. While it wasn't fully exposed as a conspiracy, the situation fueled interest in Masonic practices. There have been numerous similar cases over the years. They occurred in various countries throughout the 19th and 20th centuries and continue to happen today. For instance, in 1820, Spain passed a law targeting and persecuting Masons, leading to investigations and arrests. Scandals frequently erupted in the US, Italy, Greece, Turkey, and even Russia, where, in recent years, occasional reports suggest that Masonic organizations may be involved in political manipulation. While proving this is difficult, it remains a possibility. To advance their ideas and influence key figures in various fields, Masons may use their social connections and networks. Lobbying, forming alliances, and leveraging personal and professional contacts to spread certain ideas and decisions are all tactics they actively employ. Distinct symbols and cultural elements also play a role in shaping public perception and behavior through the design and construction of iconic buildings with Masonic symbols, participation in cultural and social events, and the creation and dissemination of works of art reflecting Masonic ideas. But that's not all. They also support educational institutions that promote their values. This includes funding universities, scholarships, and research programs, as well as creating educational materials and courses that incorporate Masonic ideals. It's often noticeable how people seem to act as if they're following instructions. For example, on certain days, large groups of people wear clothing of specific colors. This is how repeated messages are used to create associations, manipulating public opinion through carefully crafted messaging. But imagine for a moment that behind the Masonic veil lies not just a secret organization, but an ancient religious brotherhood that has been shaping and reshaping world history for centuries. Speculation about the Masons being linked to some secret faith begins to take on a more realistic shape. But what if their rituals and symbols are not just traditions? What if they are echoes of an ancient religion that existed long before civilizations took their current forms? One of the most intriguing aspects of Freemasonry is its ritualism. Some researchers suggest that their rituals may be linked to ancient mystical cults that worshipped a forgotten deity whose name is forbidden to speak. Ancient texts found in archives hint at the existence of a religion erased by history, but its traces appear to have survived in secret societies. A religion based on the principles of light and darkness, the dualism of good and evil, and the reverence of forces that govern both nature and the human soul. Some believe the Masons may have preserved these teachings, passing them down through generations, remaining invisible to ordinary eyes. Masonic rituals bear a striking resemblance to the ancient mysteries of Egypt and Greece, dedicated to the secrets of the universe and supernatural powers. One of the most popular theories is their connection to the myths of ancient Egypt, especially the cult of Osiris. The Masons may have adopted the symbolism of resurrection and renewal, processes that lie at the heart of their secret initiations. However, the Masonic religion, if it truly exists, is far deeper and darker. Rumors persist that their true deity is not the benevolent figure they present to the world. Some believe they may worship an ancient being that once ruled over the destinies of people and nations, but whose power was lost and forgotten. Nevertheless, the chosen few, with access to secret knowledge, maintain contact with this mighty being, striving to restore its dominion on earth. Recently, evidence has begun to surface that supports the existence of this hidden religion. Documents found in the archives of some Masonic lodges contain references to oaths sworn in honor of a deity whose name is concealed behind ancient symbols. Imagine that hidden among Christian rituals and symbols are signs of an ancient Masonic organization whose influence stretches far beyond what we can imagine. What if some doctrines and symbols, perceived as sacred for millennia, are actually disguised remnants of Masonic teachings embedded into the very foundation of Christianity? Historians and religious scholars have begun to notice striking parallels between Masonic symbols and Christian iconography. Is this merely coincidence? Or is it a clever disguise? One of the most prominent symbols is the all-seeing eye, often depicted in Christian churches. Moreover, Masonic symbols can be found in the architecture of many Christian cathedrals. Could this simply be a tribute to architectural style, or is it the result of Masonic ideas influencing the construction of these places of worship? Masons have always operated in the shadows, allowing them to easily infiltrate various social and religious institutions. Some believe that Masons actively influenced the development of certain Christian rituals and dogmas, replacing traditional religious symbols with their own. What if even sacred texts have been influenced by the Masons? In the Bible, hidden messages can be found that hint at Masonic philosophy. For example, the story of the construction of Solomon's Temple, one of the main Masonic symbols, may not just be part of ancient history. Certain interpretations of the Bible may have been aimed at promoting Masonic ideas about enlightenment and the pursuit of the true light. It's possible that biblical figures such as King Solomon or Hiram, the master builder of the temple, were presented as religious figures to immortalize Masonic ideals. The Protestant Reformation, involving figures like Martin Luther, may have been a way for the Masons to reshape the structure of the Christian church, inserting their ideas. After all, division within the church always creates opportunities for new ideas and influences. These suspicions are heightened by the fact that after the Reformation, many Protestant leaders had connections to Masonic lodges, or their views eerily aligned with Masonic principles. Certain symbols and rituals, especially within the Catholic Church, bear a resemblance to Masonic rites. One interesting example is the Vatican, long considered the stronghold of traditional Christianity, but rumors suggest Masonic connections at the highest levels of its authority. Some leaks concerning the internal politics of the Vatican hint at secret Masonic alliances existing in its upper echelons. It makes one wonder, if Masons have indeed infiltrated Christian structures, how deep are their roots? Could many of the rituals and customs we perceive as purely Christian actually trace back to Masonic teachings? And how would this change our perception of religion if these theories turn out to be true? Today, these questions remain food for thought. But perhaps you already have an opinion on what secret messages may be hidden in biblical texts. Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.